Welcome to Wonderland Sweden. My name's Rebecca and I create educational tools with the help of my XTool P2 and Creative Space. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's begin. Today I'm going to make a bookmark, so the best idea is to get some inspiration, and Etsy and Pinterest are often a place to go to. So here I am with these. I'm absolutely not going to copy the design in any way, other than that sometimes it's good to know the size, standard size for things. So I just looked at the size, and my idea today is to use these famous dollar horses. They're a Swedish symbol. So I'm thinking of taking those and using those as my bookmark. This is the bookmark that I've chosen, so it's 38 by 180. So to do that is just a rectangle. I don't use the studio because everything's just moved and just my brain just can't process the new buttons, so I don't use it yet. So we need 180, and because it's not the right width proportion, so we've got to unlock that. And they'd use 38 millimeters, and we don't want it to have sharp 90 degrees edges, we want some curved. So I just do trial and error and just see. So depending on how big depends on how big the curve is. The circle is just a simple circle. And again, you got to remember that the material, the leather strap, whatever it is that goes through twice, so it needs to be a little bit thicker. So you need to unlock that. If I wanted to make sure that that was the same height as that, then I would actually do that and go like that. And you can see it says that it's the same height. So when you now move this, there's two ways you can do it. You can actually move it so it turns, so it's like that. Or the other way is that you go, okay, I want this one lower and this one's in the right place. So if you highlight that and highlight that, and if you go on here and if you go a line at the bottom, and you know that the one on the right is the one that's going to move down. So that can be really useful. So now you've got two things that are in line. So we know that. Control and G on a PC, group, if you want to group it. So we've got our little shape there, and that was it. Red symbolises cut in Laser World, so I'll just change that to red. I was going to make this a little bit more complicated, I don't know how. Before I make any major changes, I always make a copy just to leave it, because I'm going to see if I can somehow, if I can just take the red of the horse, I want to somehow make this into a horsey bookmark. Do I want it to stick out or not is the question. So basically I just want to add these two together. So we're going to just do trial and error. That looks actually really cool. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this, you can see it's red because it's originally from a magnet, but I'm going to change that to yellow, and I'm actually going to make one in red as well. This one I can just do a line center, because then I know that they're going to go on top of each other. So if I'm happy with the red lines, I know I've got this red line here. I can see down here that I've chosen the red line, and then I press shift and press on the next line and then just do unite. So as you can see, this will actually cut out, and and this will actually be a skull. So does it look weird that it's like that? It does, doesn't it? So if we do undo, Control and Z, if we make that more central, do we want to make sure that it has a belly or not? Maybe the belly can go there. So we can do the same again. So we choose the red, and unite. As you can see, there's a tiny little bit of cut there. I could actually just go on edit and just delete that, like that, if I'm not too bothered about it. Oh, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? So then we have our shape. So we didn't change the proportions of this. This was just luckily the right size. This, we can group it and put it in the middle again. I was going to say the problem is now we can't center it, but we can. If we choose the yellow one and the green, hopefully the yellow doesn't move. Sometimes it does. Yes, it did. Thank you. If we move the green, and then we have it. So we have my lovely little dollar horse. How cool is that? So we still needed the hole. Do we need the hole? No, we don't. We're probably not going to use some string. You could always put some string in the horse's eye if you really need to. But yeah, the horse, I would still like to use that further down. As you can see, it's too big. I actually really like the ability to engrave. That horse is 45 wide. This now I can't actually see how wide it is because it's the width of the horse. So that's a bit of a pain, but you can kind of work out it's about 37. So we changed the horse to about 31. It's just trial and error often. So we can group that. And the thing in, again, I can't center that from using the tool here. Using the tool here. This one. From the red, because the red actually goes out there now. But for me that's perfect. So what we can do is we now have our horse, it's grouped. The easiest way to do, if you want to do a pattern, repeated pattern, is grid array here. I'm so sorry if you're using a different version. We don't want these extra X rows, so do that down. So this is just trial and error as well. So because there's a lot of gap here, then it's fine that it's only usually one. I usually use 3. If it's something that's like a square, a parallel line, then usually do 3 just to make sure it's got space. So I don't want to overcomplicate things by doing too many horses, because basically it will take more time. So I could just do trial and error. So something like that would be perfect. And they automatically group now, so you have to ungroup them, which is a really pain because then you have to regroup them again. So we know now that these are equally placed. So we could do something like that. No, I'm not really sure. That was not very good. Go back to the smaller gap. My computer will allow me to. So do grid array. So slow, sorry. So it's 5. 5, she says. And I clicked 5 minutes ago. Done. So, and they're all grouped, so you can just move them. That's really good. Right, so quickest way I always do is just Control and A and turn everything off, and then turn things back on again. Of course, you've got to choose your material before you do anything. So as you can see, 3mm birch is my go-to. Don't forget to do your training. We need red. Remember, red is cut. I never go above 80. I am doing yellow as score. So yellow will actually score around the whole of the horse. You could actually edit it and just cut that with the scissors and cut and delete that, just so that those 4 lines are visible. But I'm not bothered that it goes around and then cuts it out at the same spot. I always up the power for everything. Score, I usually up the power as well. We're talking 20. The great thing about this is that you can see how long it will take. So if we pretend that that's finished, perfect. Let's see what else is. Yeah, we have a score here. 25, 22. Should be okay. And the important thing then is to just choose your material. So choose something that's good. Even if it says it's birch, I can use the same settings for different materials. So I have a really nice mahogany that works well for the... See, that's way too long. But yeah, you get the gist.